Hello. How are you all going? I know it's, what is it now, Monday evening in the States, so everyone's had their Monday. It's Tuesday here in Australia, sunny Australia, whilst we're waiting for the rains to hit here. We've got storms coming here in South Australia. So I'm just going to wait for a few people to come in. Thank you all for subscribing to me if you wanted, or jumping on from Twitter. If you did want to subscribe, you need to swipe up on iOS, swipe up on Android, right on iOS, and click follow. The other thing that I'm going to ask you to do is hit down on the little Perryman and click to follow. Cricket Fox, you're another Adelaide chick. Good to see you in here. So, and thank you to the replay viewers. So, and don't forget, if you're watching on replay, you can still share it out to Twitter, and you can still give me hearts. So, just to let you know what's going on. So, for those who don't know me, my name's Cara. I'm based in Adelaide, South Australia. I actually have a degree in psychology, and everything that I do in social media is actually stems from my degree in psychology and my postgraduate business qualifications. So everything comes from a different perspective. I mean, I add to that a whole swathe of online experience. I started working in website management in 2000. So, I've been around the internet for a while. But one thing that's concerned me with the introduction of, well, let's face it, Periscope isn't new. I mean, it's new compared to Facebook. But it's been around for 4 months now. Massive influx in that. And I've been on a platform called blab.im, which I am loving, but I'm seeing something on Blab, which I saw a few weeks ago happen on Periscope. And I wanted to raise it with you guys, just to flag it. And it's this whole hashtag FOMO. So for those who don't know, FOMO stands for fear of missing out. And it's one of the things that's really, having the psych degree really gets my hackles up, but also piques my interest in why people feel so drawn to not missing out, always being online, always being there, always always tapping in. So it was pretty interesting when I saw some research come in from Social Media Examiner, from one of the psychologists that's associated with them, bounced in today. So I thought it was quite timely for me to discuss this with you guys. The thing is that FOMO isn't a new concept. Keeping up with the Joneses has been a term that's been bandied around for a damn long time. So culturally, not culturally, as a human race, it's something that we've had for a while. The problem is now in the information economy that we have is that it's just so in your face. Like I mentioned earlier, there's, excuse me, Facebook. Facebook's been around for a few years now, and it certainly, excuse me, being a visual media, it certainly puts us in a place where we're bombarded with not just information, but videos and, information in the form of text and videos and audio and those kinds of things. Emails is one that, people don't necessarily think of, but, overwhelm and fear of missing out. You see the ping of hear the ping of an email jumping into your inbox, and it's almost like your Pavlov's dog. You're scurrying to get to the inbox to see what's actually in there. Pinterest is a massive one. I was reading in this study that 42% of these women that were surveyed felt inadequate because they couldn't achieve what was set out on Pinterest. I mean, 42% of women felt inadequate because they couldn't make a birthday cake look like it looked like on Pinterest, or they couldn't organise their child's birthday to look like it, or they couldn't sew. I mean, seriously, 42%, that's massive. Twitter and this instant feed and instant pinging and notifications and stuff like that. Scoping here on Periscope. And what's worse for me is scoping and driving. So not just the distraction of watching a Periscope whilst you're driving. So I'm hoping if you are driving and watching this, get off. Grab the replay. I don't want to be responsible for an accident, okay? Or scoping whilst you're driving, so being the broadcaster. And I get it. You know, you see something that's absolutely amazing, or an idea pops into your head. It's like, oh, yes, I've got to capture that. Seriously, just remember it. You know, talk it out to yourself. Pull over and do something. I mean, it's not that important. But in the information economy age that we're in, we're just constantly bombarded with all of these channels and all of this information. And the research that came out from Social Media Examiner today spoke about two chemicals, two neurotransmitters that... Fantastic, I'm glad. So there's two neurotransmitters that are heavily involved in social media use. The first one's dopamine. It's highly addictive. Dopamine is a highly addictive neurotransmitter. And it drives our wants and our desires. And what they found is that it's stimulated by small pieces of information, snippets of information, and rewards. I don't know about you, but that sounds like Facebook to me, you know. Bam, you know, a little bit of information, some photos of some friends, video, quick link to somebody else, scrolling through your feed, likes, comments. It sounds like Facebook to me. It sounds like Instagram to me. Picture, square picture, a little bit of information in it, description, hearts, comments. Periscope sounds like Periscope to me. Get on, give you some information, give me some hearts, give me some shares, get my followers, you know, those kinds of things. Social media is built to turn us into dopamine junkies. That's the reason why people say that they're addicted to Facebook, or they're addicted to Twitter. Or you're seeing that I'm addicted to Periscope, you know, whether you have to come on and watch or come on and cast. It's becoming, you know, the new phenomena. So the second neurotransmitter is oxytocin. And oxytocin, if you're a mum and you've given birth, is the love hormone. And what they've found is that in 10 minutes of social media use, your oxytocin levels increases by 13%. And for some people, that's the equivalent of actually the increase that they received on their wedding day. Just think about it. The amount of love that you feel on your wedding day, I don't know, I felt stressed, but, you know, the amount of love that you feel on your wedding day and the happiness and the joy and those kinds of things, same amount as what you get in 10 minutes of social media use. But the other thing that it does is it decreases your feelings of stress and it increases your feelings of love and trust and empathy. So, I mean, that's paired with dopamine, you know, fueling your desires and that addiction and feeling of love and trust and empathy. Damn, that's some powerful, powerful stuff going on in your brain. So why do we use it then? What gets us to this place? Well, one is a feeling of building relationships. So, that's the reason why I use these platforms. It's for me, as a business owner, is to build relationships with not just my clients, but with other influencers and other businesses and those kinds of things. It's an accessible, personable way for us to communicate. And it suits me. I don't have a problem with writing, but I find talking a hell of a lot easier, even talking to my phone like I am now. Reciprocity is another thing. So, you know, it can be as crude as follow for follow. But it's things like, you know, someone friended you on Facebook, or you met up with them and they friended you on Facebook, or God forbid they unfriended you on Facebook. Or, you know, someone wished you a happy birthday, so when it comes to their birthday, even though you don't particularly like them, you'll wish them a happy birthday just because they did it to you. Another one's shared experiences or common experiences. So being part of a tribe, this is just base human psychology, that we like to feel like we fit in. We like to feel like we're part of a tribe, and that's a very powerful thing for us. And being part of a group, or like literally a Facebook group, can drive behaviour. Group mentality is absolutely massive in psychology, and social psychology is a whole field of its own research. And nostalgia, I mean, I don't know about you, but I love seeing not just the historical stuff, but I know I now run 6 Facebook pages. One of the things that people really enjoy is stuff from their childhood, and relating back to that. Now, I don't necessarily enjoy stuff from my childhood being called vintage, but just remembering the happy, easier times. So my concern is this whole fear of missing out, and, you know, where I'm getting to with this is that unless you are on this, I mean, there are really 2 reasons why you get on social media, or a few. One's to educate and one's to entertain, and they come back to those 2 things. So unless you're here to be entertained, you know, and then you need to seriously consider how much and how often and how long you watch these things. And let's face it, reality TV is a killer for this. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, unless you have a problem with it, then there's no problem. As a producer of information and education and entertainment, what you've got to realise, if you are starting to feel as if I have to get on and I have to scope, or I have to post, or, you know, 24 hours away from social media is just an eternity, and, you know, the world changes. It doesn't. Let's face it, I took a month out from social media last year, and I do promise you the world went on and I had a damn good time. And you know what? It was probably one of the best times that I had, because I was able to regroup and look at why and what I was doing, and look at my values. And the thing that I want to leave you with is that it helped me determine my goals. So what I want you to do is, when you come on to any social media platform, I want you to look at 2 fundamentals before or when you're starting to feel overwhelmed, or that you have this fear of missing out. One is, what you're doing adding value? Is it adding value to yourself, your family, your relationships? Or is it going to add value to somebody else, which is why I'm doing this, okay? And the second thing is, how is it achieving your goals? How is it helping you to get to your end? So they're the 2 things. Now, hi Ryan, thanks for joining. I'm just wrapping this up. Thanks for jumping on. So, like I said, you want to be looking at how you're adding value and to how you're achieving your goals. Thanks for stopping by. Catch the replay though, Ryan, because I've been talking a lot about the psychology of FOMO. If you don't realise, I've got a degree in psychology, so this is just ringing all of my bells at the moment. No pun intended, sorry. So I want to leave you with two things. One, how is what you're doing on social media adding value to either yourself, your family, or your audience? And two, how is what you're doing getting you towards your end goal? It does take effort, it does take practice, and it does take stepping back. If you want to learn more about goals, I've got a link in my bio that heads over to my website. Go to my blog and search for goals. It's in there. There's a whole swathe of information about goal setting. And I do take a little bit of a different twist on it because of my degree in psychology. So, thanks guys for stopping in. I hope you've enjoyed what I've had to say. If you're watching the replay, thank you. Don't forget to share it out. And I'm actually going to be discussing this later on tonight in Blab because I find that it's a better medium for a group discussion on the topic. So I will catch you all later. Thanks.